You guys ready? All right. Maybe you're asking yourself, what does this $10,000 do? Let me hook you up, all right? This is what it's gonna do. It's gonna raise up a new urban leader in every single state over this next year, right? Now that's 50, well, let me break, well, it's not 50 because I'm not sure we're gonna be up in Alaska, but say 49 other states to help these urban leaders raise up, and for the next year, we're gonna resource them, train and develop them to become the leader that they were created to be. If that's not worth $10,000, man, I don't know what is. And so we need your help. Go ahead, give to it. Every dollar is matched, and it's gonna help us discover, connect with, resource, develop these urban leaders in every state in the United States, except for Alaska, but we're gonna get there, all right?
All right, guys. So, hey, am I on you, Andy? That's right. Hey, so we're here, San Bernardino. We're with Donna Martin of the Joy Company. And so, man, we've been having a great time just chopping it up. We got something called the Chongo. This is what it is. And so, we actually already ate lunch. It was delicious. And so, yeah, we're just so glad you're joining with us, Giving Tuesday. So, I know we've been talking a lot, Donna, but
yeah.
All right, you run something, you and your husband, Devo, run something called the Joy Company,
yes.
Right? All right, so tell us what it is. What is it?
Yeah, so what we do, we have a nonprofit. It's called the Joy Company. It comes from 3 John 1:4, which says, I have no greater joy than to see my children walking in truth. And so we just bring us into public schools. My husband was on public school campuses preaching as a youth pastor for 4 years. And in 2017, a lot of things happened, but God just kind of interrupted our lives and made it very clear, very extremely clear that this was what we were supposed to do. And we prayed about it, sought a lot of wise counsel, talked to our pastors, because we didn't feel like God was asking us to go into this like part-time. We felt like God was asking us to dive all the way in. And that took a lot of risk and guts, and it had to be God or else we're a fool, right? Because you don't just like up and live and get rid of everything just to do this. And so we sought a lot of wise counsel. Pastors and just our family, and asking everybody, what do you think? Is this God? And everybody told us to go for it. So what we do is we go on public school campuses and we set up Christian clubs. And we just make sure that there's always a Christian community on campus. So right now we're on 4 high schools and 1 junior. 152 kids every single week at the junior high. Yeah, and we literally just preach the gospel. We preach the gospel to kids on campus. We have lunchtime clubs because we feel like that's where we're going to get the most impact. That's when the most kids are on campus. So, and we literally have 30 minutes. We get them in there, we feed them pizza, we play a little game, and then we preach for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Pray with these kids, pray them out. We've seen hundreds of kids give their lives to the Lord. We get to pray over kids who have never even had prayer before, which is crazy to me. When you grow up in church and you're like, how has no one ever prayed for you? But we've met several kids who have never even had prayer, don't really know what it is. We get to give them their first encounter with God and with the love of God. And we sow a lot of seed in terms of just love, and this is who God is. I mean, most of the kids, you ask them who is God, and they describe Zeus. And
Oh,
so,
wow, okay.
yeah, that's kind of their idea of he's just floating somewhere and he's got a lightning bolt, or he's kind of good, or he doesn't like people, and we, on many occasions, get to give them their first encounter with the love of God. So it's been pretty
cool. So let me just recap the story really quick. It's like you guys are living your life.
Yeah.
Life. You have 3 children, by the way.
3 kids.
Okay. And you have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old?
9.
9 and then
a 5-year-old. Yes, the 5 was the surprise.
Oh, hello. Okay. So you have 3 children. You guys are both professionals. You're doing your thing. And then a couple years ago, this is all brand new. God's like, hey, I actually want you to root yourself in San Bernardino. Yeah. And I know you're from the IE, but the Inland Empire, for those who don't know, but here in California, but you get called to this, and so it's like, I want you to bring the gospel to the schools.
Yeah.
And so you quit.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. How many of us out there know this story? I mean, a lot of us live this, right? But what I think is incredible about you guys is that a lot of us, like for me, I cheat a little bit. I started in my 20s.
Yeah.
Where you don't have anything anyway.
Right,
so
right.
You had much more to lose.
Yes.
And so your faithfulness to say, okay, go figure this out. Now you're in schools and so you're in 4 high schools.
Yeah, and 1 junior high.
1 junior high.
Yeah.
And then so how many kids are you guys?
So on a weekly basis, and then we kind of are in connection with another club in Montclair. We kind of help with support over there. The teacher that's been doing that, he's on our team, so we kind of collaborate with him. But we're reaching close to 400 kids every weekly.
Man.
I'm spending about $600 a week in pizza to feed these kids, right?
You said earlier you picked up, how many pizzas did you
20
pick up?
pizzas today.
20 pizzas today?
Today, Tuesday.
So it'll be like 50 some
about
pizzas.
50, we'll do 50, 55
by
the end of the week.
Yeah.
The pizza company loves us, right? They give us a little discount, but not that much. And so, and he knows my order. He knows when I'm coming.
Right.
And they make sure that the pizzas are ready for us right when I walk through the door. But anyway,
and we eat pizza because we don't want to waste any time. They have a 30-minute lunch for 95% of them. I'm going to go with 98. 98% of them, this is the only Jesus that they're going to get all week.
That's right, huh?
So we don't want them to go to the lunch line. We want them to come straight to me.
So I'll say, hey, I will feed you. Just come and listen to me for the next 15 minutes.
Right.
And they do. And they come. And they eat. And they love it. And we get snacks donated. So we give them whatever we got. Today I had hot Cheetos. So I was passing out Cheetos like bullets, right?
Hot Cheetos will bring kids to Jesus.
Hot Cheetos will bring kids to Jesus. I will agree with that. So, and they come and they're faithful.
Yeah.
They come and hear about God every weekend. And even on some weeks where I'm like, man, that was whack. I don't know what I just what I just preached. Like, they'll be back the next week. And little by little, they open up. They tell you about their lives, what they're walking through. Like we were with a student today.
Yeah.
And today was the first time he told me, I had no idea that he had been in and out of foster care like his whole life. He's been in and out of foster care his whole life. He asked me if he was going to get to preach for club. And I was like, well, are you going to share your story? He was like, yeah, I could preach. I'm going to tell my story. And he's pumped up about sharing the gospel with, and he's got his rough edges or whatever, but man, he's so fired up about reaching his campus. And so it's been really cool to find those kids who we can support. Ultimately we want the kids to run the whole club.
Yeah.
We want them to be the ones preaching. We want them to be the ones gathering their friends and passing out the pizza and praying and all that. And in some of our clubs that does happen. But right now it's just like, man, these kids need the gospel. Like they've never heard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. So just for those of you guys who are following us, we go to this campus, right? We hooked up a little bit earlier, and we meet this kid named Mikey, right? Now, Now, what was interesting about this whole thing, just set it up for y'all, is we meet Mikey, and then he's kind of like your plug, right? And so for those who don't know, anyway, that's a drug reference, but he's the guy that's on campus going, I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to go find the teacher. I'm going to connect you with the teacher. I'm going to find the room. Like this beautiful, and he loves his church. 17-year-old kid, and he is trying to figure out how to bring the
How do
gospel
we do this?
to his
Yeah.
school campus, and then you're that person that's there to support that, and then
Absolutely.
bring all the structure.
Absolutely.
Cut the pizza.
Yeah,
and,
double
like
slice.
double sliced.
We double slice that sucker,
I
or else
feel
we
you
would
on
run
that.
out.
That's the quail and the manna right there. Like,
Exactly.
Hey, how come I got this tiny piece of
Right.
But yeah, and so I was really struck by that because what that showed me about you guys is not about you.
Yeah.
It's about how do we get the gospel out, and we're gonna empower and lead these kids. We're gonna let them lead. We're gonna let them
Absolutely.
share their story. And,
Yeah.
and I love that. And then you shared a story with me too about you have a volunteer
Yes.
who works at PetSmart, right?
Yes.
Okay, and tell me a
And
little bit about
she's
her.
incredible.
Yeah.
Her name is Lori. So if you're watching, Lori, shout out. And anybody that
Hey.
knows us knows Lori. She's the cutest. Got purple hair, and she's got an incredible story of just how God has completely transformed her life from anything that you can think of, addictions and all sorts of things. And Lori is so good with these kids because she's so relatable, and she's got she's no air of religion on her. I mean,
Yeah.
she just wants to love them. And she works with us.
She was on more campuses with us. We actually had more campuses last year. Scaled a little bit this semester.
Yeah.
But Lori was on campus with us almost every single day at a different campus last year. And right now she leads the club at the junior high, and she is killing it. There's two clubs. So first lunch is like 110 and second lunch is like 75 or 80 or something like that. Junior highs. Like this is not like high school kids. These are junior high kids. It's nuts. And she's leading that club, and it's like a full-on, almost like a church plant, because the school doesn't have a room big enough. So they have to move all the desks, change everything, put the chairs down, set up the sound, set up the mic, pass out the pizza, pray, talk to the kids, invite them into leadership, all those different things. And yeah, she's been rocking with us for a year and a half now, and she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. And you know, we trust her to just lead that club.
Yeah.
Because me and Deepo can't be everywhere, obviously,
Right.
and she's doing an incredible job. So I love you, Lori. You're amazing.
No, I love that too, and I mean, here's the reality too for those of you guys listening, and maybe you're not in this work, and like the amount of sacrifice and work to do these kind of things. When you have churches that are dying,
Yeah.
they can't get 50 people to show up, and yet she's out there and she's got 200
That's what I told
like junior hires that are like, yo, like, all right, what are you going to tell me today about God? Like, that's incredible. And I know, and so Lori, there's no promises made on this, but I know that you want to hire her, right?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but part of it's that fundraising and
Absolutely.
all that to try to do that.
Like,
And you
this
think,
is her jam. Like, she's so good at it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, she can't be replaced. Like, she is so good at what she does and so good at loving these kids. And I'm like, man, if, she needs to be more on our team. She needs to be full-time
Yeah,
on our team.
yeah.
She can train other people how to love these kids, because she's so good at it.
How old is she?
She is, how old are you, Lori? I'm pretty sure we're the same age. So she
Okay.
is 35 or 34.
Yeah.
And just going for it.
Just
I
going
love
for
that.
it. Going
Now,
for it.
Okay, and then you told me about another volunteer. Oma is what you call it.
Yeah.
So tell me about Oma.
I just put food in my mouth.
Sorry.
That's all right. So we were connected to a woman. We call her Oma because she's German grandma. She's 18 great grandkids. 18 great grandkids.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. She's been working for campus.
She leads a small Bible study on a middle school campus here in San Bernardino, and she's been doing it for years.
82-year-old grandma
Yeah.
leading
Yeah.
junior. You said junior high?
Junior high.
Bible study on campus.
Bible study every week faithfully.
I don't know if you're watching, but if you don't feel shame for that,
Yeah.
we're not doing enough. you
Yeah.
know? No, that was amazing.
No, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And she told us, she came to our office last week with the students. We meet with
A group of leaders. So all the students that lead clubs, they
Yeah.
come to our office on Tuesday night. They have their own Bible study. They're going through the DKIT. And they come on, plug the DCAT. They're going through the DCAT, and they meet. So Oma came last Tuesday to meet with them, and she told us her story. She's been over 69 countries with the Jesus film. Anyway, Oma came and met us and said, "I'm here to help you."
Yeah.
Because Mike was like, "How can I help you with your club? You know, your Bible study at the middle school." She was like, "No, you don't understand. I'm here to help you."
Oh, wow.
And we were like, "Yes, you are. Praise God." And so, Tommy, the cool thing about it is that it was built by Campus Crusade for Christ, which we did not know until we got in there. So it feels like holy ground to us.
Oh,
that it felt like coming home for her, because she had been working out of that building 40 years ago with Campus Crusade. Part of the Jesus film was filmed in our suite, so it's like crazy. I'm like in tears.
yeah.
And so she, she's just helping out. She's going to come on Tuesday nights and help lead the Bible study. She just says she loves teenagers.
Come on, man.
And she says she loves teenagers because the first to communicate effectively with her own children. So she loved their teenage years because she could share her faith.
There's that thing where you never retire from the kingdom.
No.
Right. You pass away and you move into the full kingdom. That's all it is. So, oh man, I love that, man.
Yeah, so cool.
All right, so let's talk real quick about the real.
Yeah, there's a lot
So
of
you were telling me, right? You were telling me how Devo, your husband, works at like 15 different churches.
yeah.
Can you just share? Because I want people to understand.
Yeah.
What it's like for a lot of us.
Yeah.
And we call it the hustle, right? It's the hustle, but you
Call to this.
Yeah.
and there's some barriers to that. It's not just like, yep,
Yeah.
still get paid that, 100K a year.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. So
yeah.
we got called into it. Like God was telling us to lay everything down. That's why we had to have so much counsel confirmation. I was asking the Lord, make the fleece wet, dry, do all the things. So as soon as he stepped down from his paid job, he just went back out, kind of, I guess we'll call it evangelistic field, and started just leading worship at different churches. And literally, though, when he didn't make a call, when he did that, God just opened the door. People start calling him like, "Hey, can you come lead worship this Sunday?
Sure,
or can you come over here? Can you come over here?" So for over a year and a half, we were traveling every single Sunday to a different church. He's leading worship, and that's how we were our income. We were starting to build a few partners, but literally, when you spend $600 a week on pizza, like everything that comes in is going right back out. This is not, and the grace of God and the goodness of God, we haven't missed a mortgage payment. We haven't missed a car payment.
It's crazy,
none of those
right?
things. It's crazy. It's actually kind of mind blowing. Like it is fish and loaves, and it's like I don't even know how this is happening. There would be mornings I did not have money for pizza, and I'm like, "Please, Jesus, Lord," and somebody would bing. You'd hear a little PayPal ding, and you're like, "Yeah," Just the faithfulness of God. But yeah, he's leading worship at all these churches. And today he's not here because part-time he's a worship lead at a church here in San Bernardino called Sandals. And so he took that on as a part-time position, full-time doing Joy Company, another part-time, doing Sandals. Number one, because we really felt God was calling us to the place. But number two, because we do need the income, like how we got to live, And so, and then once a month, he's able to go away, to a different church. And that's good because it helps us to keep sharing our story and share what we do and get more partners and get more people involved. So he'll still lead worship at a church. I mean, anywhere from Castaic, he leads worship all the way in Castaic, to here in San Bernardino. I mean, we were leading church in Fontana. We were leading worship at all over the place. We went all the way to, what's that city up there? Burbank. I mean, just all over the place. People were calling him, asking him to lead. And so that was a blessing. A year and a half until this stability of what he's living so hard. I mean, every day I'm looking at I'm like, I have a master's degree and and I'm looking at part-time teaching jobs. I'm thinking, can I adjunct on the side? I did adjunct work for HIU, so I'm like, well, maybe I can do
online HIU adjunct, and I still might do that, but I kind of just feel this peace of God, like, no, I'm gonna take care of you. I need you to focus here, especially because me and him, like, we do this absolutely together, side by side. And while he has obviously and I just kind of pick up all of that.
So just so that either people can connect, because this is our story, or people that are just go,
Get it?
why do you do this? You know what I mean? Like, what? What keeps you going? You know what I mean? And just going, this is it.
If you haven't been on a high school campus for years, somehow figure it out how to walk on campus during lunch.
Go to the front office first.
Go to the front office first. Please check in, get your badge, because we can't have you jumped by the school police. But
and everything's on lockdown now anyway because of all the things that have been happening on campus. If you haven't listened in a few years, if you can sit in your church queue for a few years and you have walked outside, you will find a position. It is true statistics and high.
they ain't going to church.
Right.
They're just not. I mean, I would, for the 4 years my husband was youth pastor and doing campus ministry, he would try anything to get them to church. Like, he was giving away Jordans, he was trying to
in the book.
We'll lace you up.
But he couldn't get them because their parents wouldn't take them, or there was just so many barriers.
Sure.
But these kids aren't going to church anymore, and they haven't heard the gospel. And if we can just give them their first encounter with the love of God, if they can just taste for a moment his goodness, I mean, I don't think they'll ever forget it. Even if they wander away, they'll be like, I remember when.
I preached Jeremiah 33:3, and I was telling them, call to me. He said, call to me and I'll answer you. And I was saying, you may not be paying attention. They were paying attention, but I'm like, even if you're not paying attention, I pray one day you'll remember that God said, if you call to me, I will answer you. And for me to be able to sow seeds of God into their life, sow the love of God, man, it's worth every moment of my life. I mean, to lay it down means to lay it down. When we follow Jesus, we follow him all the way. And if that means, at this point in my life, if it means my stability, if it means, I mean, I remember at one point I was like, I'm not going to have health insurance. And I'm thinking, man, these people in Syria getting their heads blown off. What am I tripping about health insurance? And I'm not saying be irresponsible with what your life, but I'm saying when we lay it down, we lay it down. And we follow Jesus one decision at a time, man.
Oh, man. Thank you for saying. I mean, like, I get a little emotional. I get a little teary-eyed just because you just think about, like, the hopelessness that these kids have, and they're just so lost.
And I don't mean that in you're lost, you're going to hell.
Lost.
But they're, like, living in a hell.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And there's so much going on that God has changed all that because of the cross, and they don't know. They don't know. And so what blows me away is that then you have hundreds of kids that are showing up going, I want my tiny slice of pizza.
Because we double slice
and I
it.
want to hear some truth.
And I want to hear the truth. And they'll take and they receive it from me. And for who are all of our preachers and whoever's talking. I mean, every time we hear about one of these high school shootings, I'm like, y'all don't see, like, God, and we're not the only ones doing this work.
Oh, no.
God is calling people in droves into high schools because it's the biggest mission field in the United States. And every time we hear, you get a glimpse of this is brokenness. This is the brokenness that's happening on these campuses. These kids don't know. They don't know the Lord. They don't even know that there's hope. And
man, it's inspiring, everything you guys are doing. I love it. So tell me a little bit about like I was just asking you, hey, when did we meet you?
I feel like I've known you for a long time, even though we haven't. But so 2017 you got called in. 2018 you came to the national conference, right? And then you signed up for 90
degrees. You're one of our 9-degree graduates.
Right.
And so how has that, how's that been for you? Like, how has that been helpful? And you're doing all this amazing work. I'm not the one on the campus.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
you know what? When we stepped down and we went to national conference, we were in tears. We were like, man, we found our tribe. Yeah. Because my husband has always felt a lifelong call to youth ministry. Yeah. And that wasn't always like accepted, you know. Right. And they're like, first of all, just sing or whatever, He's always felt a lifelong call to youth ministry in whatever capacity. Maybe he's not always going to do this particular, but he feels like I'm called to youth forever. Yeah. And so to hear other people say that, to hear people encouraging us in the work that we're doing and to call it important and to say this is what you're doing, it matters. Yeah. That this isn't just the next step to another place in ministry, that we're not going to do this low level and like just throw the kids in the room and do whatever. Man, that was so inspiring to us because we found our tribe. Mm-hmm. Like, this is who we are. Like, we are them, they are us. Yeah. We are the youth workers, And then we enrolled in 90 Degrees. Number one, because we were like, man, we just want to make sure that we set ourselves up. We've been doing ministry for a really long time. We've been doing youth ministry for a long time, but not like this. Yeah. And so we're like, let's get in an environment where these people can teach us tools to help us sustain this for the long haul. We feel like we want the Joy Company to last until Jesus comes. And we want to make sure that right in the foundation of what we're doing, we set this up right. This is too important for this to be a hobby or this to be like, oh, this will happen for a few years. It's too important of a work for us to not be trained and prepared. And, there was things that were like, we never did like that, or we never did youth ministry like that. And then also just the classes and the teachers brought such a different perspective. You've been in church a long time, you start doing stuff a certain way, and sometimes that's whack. And so it was just good to be given a different perspective of how to do ministry, to do it effective. Some things were like, yeah, we're doing that right. Some things were like, we are doing that totally wrong. And it's just been really good. The strategic plan that we did at the end, we've presented that to businessmen. We've given it to a couple of different people. We shared it at a grand opening. We had a grand opening a couple weeks ago. And so that's been good to clarify for us, okay, what are we doing? And to get it on paper and to have numbers and to have a goal and a plan and a mission and a vision and get us rolling just in the right direction. We just wanted to make sure that in the roots of this, in the foundation of this, we had a good understanding and a good idea of what we're doing. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, we believe in you, obviously.
Thanks.
But I just think it's just so inspiring what you guys are doing, and like how many kids you guys are already reaching, like off the hook. Like, we didn't even talk about. We should, people follow these guys. Company, give to them. They need it. Right? We need to get them with Lori. Yeah, right? We need to get Lori on the team. But just to watch you guys kind of grow this and do it, man. It's just so inspiring to see that you are on the front lines and just pushing in and at great sacrifice. But what I love, what you shared, is that it's worth it. Yeah. Like, and I think a lot of us that follow Christ and do this work would just say, but
like, what else would it be?
Why wouldn't I do that? I don't understand. But I know the importance of when we come together and we can commiserate, we can celebrate, we can just go, you get it, we don't have to explain poverty to each other. It's like, I'm there. And so it's just so inspiring to be with you guys. And we're so sorry that Devo's not here.
I know.
But I get it. He's
doing his
hustling,
thing.
He's doing his thing, he's making it happen. So we're just so proud of you guys. And we're with you. So we'll continue to journey with you and figure it out. So thanks so much for having a big old bowl of ice cream and some chongo, dude, and so we just appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you.
So I think we're good for lunch, right, guys? So thank you guys for following with us. We're gonna hope you guys
I'm
for
looking
dinner.
at all the cameras.
Catch us for dinner as we're gonna be in Hawaiian Gardens. and tonight with another one of our leaders. And so, yeah, just so good to be here in San Bernardino with you, Donna, and just thanks for all the hospitality.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it'll be good, man. So we'll see you guys soon. Giving Tuesday. Give to the people that we're interviewing. I'd love to see you support them as well. Support UYW. We hope you can see
please do.
that the work that we're doing is so vital to keep leaders like Donna and Devo in the game, getting better, helping them figure out how do you raise the money and all the things that go into it, so we can see a revival in San Bernardino. So, amen. All right, so we'll see you guys soon, and thanks for following. Peace.
Bye.
Here's the deal. If we had 200 of our faithful followers, of our resource partners, of our leaders, if we had 200 people give $25, we reach our goal, right? And then every one of those dollars gets matched. So if you give $25, it's like giving 50. This is a bargain. And then you'll see all throughout today, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what that money goes to. And I believe that you'll be so inspired that you might want to give some more money. That'll get more matched, right? So look, today's the day. We need your help. Giving Tuesday, $25. We need 200 of y'all to come through. And some of you guys can give more. So if some of you have a little bit more capacity, give $100. Some of you out there, I know you're big ballers. So $500, $1,000, that's all on you. So help us out today. Be inspired by our leaders. Follow with us, and we're going to get there. Guys, it's Giving Tuesday today, and we are trying to raise $10,000, but here's what's beautiful is that we have a $5,000 match. So we got to raise $5,000, and for every dollar we raise, somebody matches that. So we're trying to get to $10,000. So we need $5,000 today. And so what we're going to do is we want to show you the type of impact that we're having in the world. And so we're going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with some of our beloved urban leaders. And so we're going to go check them out. We're just going to have conversations with them, but we really want you to understand what's the context, what's the environment, what are the barriers they're up against, and what are some of the successes that they're experiencing. Because we want you to know when you give to us, you are giving to an actual leader who is reaching thousands and thousands of youth out there with the gospel of Jesus Christ. So follow with us as we go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner with our leaders, and we'll see you all day today. In 2020, the revolution is happening. We're revolutionizing the way we do media, the content that we bring you. It's going to be relevant. It's going to be up to date. It's going to really speak to the places that